Where's the camera? Oh, there it is. Hello. Welcome to episode. Fuck knows at this point. I had a guest drop out tonight, but I have a replacement who you all know and have met before. So the last time you seen this gentleman, he was the one who interviewed me to sort of introduce the podcast, kind of get to know the feeling that we were trying to express in this, and he really helped me out with that. So lots of positive comments, lots of positive feedback. And he's back again, but it's now my turn to interview him. So get a bit of information out of him, get his funny stories, get his funny takes on things. So a bit of background. 2012, started as a call taker, did an ECA course, didn't do that well on that one.
We'll circle back to that.
Became motherfucker. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm just gonna fucking keep it running because fuck this shit. Oh my days.
Much like last time, he'll clear this up in post-production.
Your mic's not on yet.
Oh, god damn it.
Big goddamn heavy phone.
Yeah, sorry about that.
There we go. Let's try again, shall we?
Let's go.
Fucking hell. Well, ladies and germs, get myself out from there. So, student to Matt, eventually becoming a paramedic, now a trainee ACP, APP. Sorry, I keep
No longer.
no longer an APP, but
My
training
training had finished.
had finished. Critical care hopeful. So, any HEMS units out there listening, give us a chance, mate. Mr. Sim training, big advocate for training, a tutor and mentor to a good few paramedics now, cigar smoker, whiskey connoisseur, fan of rugby, motorsport and photography, and general man without a plan. Searchy. Hello.
Hey man, thank you for having me back.
Ooh, there we go.
There we go.
Can you hear yourself?
I can.
All right then.
That's a bit weird.
Still fucking figuring it out. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So welcome back.
Thank you for having me back, man.
Yeah, thank you for making the arduous journey out to my fucking house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you live really far away from me.
I'm gonna try and keep my beer away from the label because YouTube fuck you with copyright stuff. So
Yeah, that'll do.
so few, but I'm glad there's no smell-o-vision to YouTube because outside is about 26 degrees. And my shed is fully insulated with no ventilation. And if I have the door open, all you guys will hear is the fucking birds. So stay clear of that one. Thanks for coming.
No, thanks for having me back, man.
We've had a few guests in between our first one and this one, and we've had a lot of feedback. It's really good. Hopefully, just kind of build on that, I guess. So. My first question to you. So you fucked me with this one the last time. So what brought you to the ambulance service?
Good question. Well phrased. So originally, didn't want to be a paramedic.
Well,
originally I wanted to be a firefighter.
oh fucking hell!
Seriously.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man. So my nan on my dad's side, who will hence be known as Nonna, because she was Italian, and that's Italian for grandmother.
Is this why this comes out in the hands?
Yeah. So she lived virtually next to Cheltenham Fire Station. So
Okay.
from like yay fucking big, I grew up next to a fire station, and
Okay.
firefighter was all I ever wanted to do.
Big red truck.
Literally, literally. Not to disparage our firefighter colleagues out there, but
A water ferry. I've still to find a water ferry to interview. So if you're out there listening, jump on.
be good.
DM me, babes.
So literally grew up next to Cheltenham Fire Station, and that
Okay.
is all I ever wanted to do.
Right.
Went through primary, secondary school, all that jazz, and then when it came time to leave secondary school,
Yeah.
and start,
Do a thing.
doing a thing and entering
Doing a
the
thing.
real world, which 15 out of 10 is fucking overrated. Would not recommend it.
Fuck an adult life, basically. Yeah.
Pretty much. The national recruitment ban had happened.
What,
So,
for
like,
fire service?
So like nowhere
yeah.
Nowhere was
No
recruiting.
one had any money. Yeah.
No one had any money. They were like, you want a job? Tough.
Yeah.
You could not have a job.
Okay.
But in sort of like whilst growing up, saw a news piece on Central News when I was like 10 or 11 about two St John ambulance cadets that saved some guy that fell onto a train track.
Oh, okay. Right.
Didn't know anything about St John or this, that, and the other, but like seemed like a cool thing. Like you know,
it was right.
It seemed alright. So ended up joining St John as a cadet when I was 10 or 11.
Okay.
Which brought me into like the medical world and like first aid and all that sort of stuff.
So no family.
No family. No
family.
No one. Nobody in my family does anything remotely medical or emergency services.
Yeah. So it wasn't
lots of people in the family were in the Royal Air Force.
Okay. So like military background.
Military background family.
Okay.
Yeah.
But nothing.
But nothing.
Yeah. Frontline, blue light.
No. Nothing.
Police, fire, ambulance, anything like
that.
So. Okay.
Joined St John, and that sort of took me with the sort of medical stuff. And when the fire service didn't happen, like paramedics seemed like the next logical choice.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
So focused my efforts on trying to get into university.
Yeah.
However, like I wasn't a fan of secondary school and GCSEs and all that.
Much like a lot of us, really.
Much like a lot, like Rockstar Games, you have a lot to answer for.
It's far too much GTA.
Far too much time on the PlayStation.
Steal a fucking ambulance.
Far too much time on the PlayStation. Didn't try as hard as I could.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because school didn't provide me the right sort of mental stimulation, so I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So didn't quite have the grades I needed when I got my GCSEs to go off to university.
Okay.
Which has actually stood me in good stead, and I'll loop back to that.
Okay.
So tried for years and years and years and years to make the paramedic thing work. I applied to university, I think 4 times, applied to the ambulance service 5 times, and just like whatever I did could not get a job.
Yeah.
And then eventually 2012 rolled around again, and it was a position for a call taker.
Yeah, okay.
With the then Great Western Ambulance Service.
GWAS, baby.
Back in the day.
Yeah. I seen a GWAS uniform the other day.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And I was like...
Still got my GWAS shirt somewhere.
It's one of the OGs, babe.
So applied, got shortlisted. Because I've been shortlisted a few times previous for jobs. And then it's like, oh no, we're now not recruiting, so get fucked.
Yeah, okay.
Went down for the spelling test and the interview.
Spelling test.
It was a spelling test. You had to spell certain medical
words. Is this because when you're having a call taken? I've never been a call taker, and I've been in dispatch quite a few times. But is that so that when you're typing, they know you can spell to come up on the MDT?
That sort of thing.
Okay, right.
So
to make sure you're not a spud.
Pretty much. I've actually got Rich to thank for that.
Oh right, okay.
So he was, I think, an intake like a month before me.
Right.
And he was like, John, you've got to apply for this job. Like, that's what I've come to do. This, that, and the other. I was like, yeah, grand. So applied, got shortlisted, went for the spelling test, went for the interview. And then basically we got like there were more successful candidates than there are places.
Yeah. So like everyone's scored a 70. But, they just have to pick.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we'll keep your details on record for 12 months.
Of course,
And like...
A holding pool
pretty
arrangement.
Much.
Okay.
And at that point, I was like, well, that ain't gonna fucking happen, is it?
Yeah.
So I was working for my dad's company at the time, and I was like, oh, well, this is... that's shit. I'm never going to hear from them.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to, work. And then, like, 2 weeks later, I got a phone call. And they're like, you still interested in this job? It's like, yes.
Maybe.
Yes, I am.
Maybe I fucking am.
Like, it's really short notice, but can you start in 4 weeks? Like,
well, thankfully, I'm working for my dad.
Yeah. Thankfully, my notice period has a bit of flex in it.
Has 0.
So yes, I can start in 4 weeks. So then, that's how I got into the ambulance service. Ended up working down in Bristol. Started as a call taker, and it all kind of went from there. Like once the once that first door opened,
yeah, that's it. It's about getting your toe in.
Like, everything else became quite easy, despite the fact that my grades weren't quite what they.
Applying for stuff internally is inherently easier than trying to like fucking swiddle in from the road. Basically, it's the same with like any job, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. So started as a call taker. Then sort of midway, probably about 6-7 months into the job, advert for ECA came out. That's what I really wanted to do.
Yeah, be on the road, yeah. That's what a lot of people do, to be fair. They're either dispatchers or the call takers.
Well, it used to be back in the day that you do like your PTS thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Back when there was an age limit for the job, you couldn't join before 21. Went off, did the whole ECA thing. Now, I will openly admit, I was an arrogant twat, because I fell into that trap, and you're all out there, and you're all doing this, but some of you aren't self-aware about it. I fell into the trap of, I'm in St. John, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So, turned up for the course, didn't perhaps try as hard as I should have. I have no one else to blame but myself.
Yeah.
And didn't pass the course.
Oh, shit.
The feedback, the way it was announced that certain people didn't pass the course wasn't brilliant, and then when asked, what do I need to work on, like, what bits have I failed on?
Yeah, you wanted a bit of positive feedback.
Was just basically told, we'll go over the last 6 weeks, like, my retest is tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I can't revise 6 weeks of work in 12 hours.
Yeah, what parts do I need to focus on?
And wasn't told, so was, to an extent, set up to fail there, but I think I'd already done the damage.
Yeah.
So
you'd been spotted as a bit of an arrogant.
I'd been spotted as a bit of a twat. Yeah. Totally my own fault. And
no comment, John. No comment.
Yeah, some things don't change. So went back to the hub with the tail between my legs, like, can I come back as a call taker, please?
Yeah, can I have my job back, please?
So went back to call taking, and was devastated initially that I didn't pass my ECA course.
Yeah.
And then just kind of came to terms with it. It's like, well, actually, I was quite enjoying call taking at the time.
Yeah.
It's not a difficult job. It's a relentless job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
this was back in the day when we weren't busy.
Yeah.
Like, if we did more than 700-800 calls a day, that was a busy day.
Right.
Like, I think the time I was up there, we broke 1,000 calls in 24 hours, like, a handful of times.
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh my god, like, we've got 1,000 jobs.
It's really busy, and, like, managers are getting called. And,
yeah.
And nowadays, like...
Freak black!
Yeah.
Is it?
And nowadays, like, 1,000 calls a day is nothing.
Yeah.
So went back and was, like, in a, like, okay place with it, and, like, once you're call taking, the next natural progression is to be either a dispatcher or dispatch assistant. The first job advert to come out was a dispatcher. Now, I lived in Gloucester at the time, well, Cheltenham at the time. I was commuting to Bristol. Not very cash, like, commuting that time after nights is just horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, what's Gloucester to Bristol? Like, what's Gloucester to main hub? That's an hour and
it's a little while.
And then, especially if it's rush hour, you're kind of fucked, aren't you?
So, like, there would be times, like, post nights, I'm just aware the car has stopped, and I'm like, oh, I'm parked on my drive. How did that happen?
Home. Like, how the fuck did I do that? No, I've done that. I think is it highway hypnosis?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's called highway hypnosis when you're able to perform the function of driving a vehicle without causing an accident. You can overtake people on the motorway. You can do all this, that, and the other, and you can get yourself home. But your brain just doesn't register that you're doing it.
My brain doesn't register I'm doing a lot of stuff. We're not going to pull that thread. Anyway. So yes, living in Cheltenham, working in Bristol, not very cash money. Job came out for a dispatcher in the Gloucester hub that we had at the time.
Yeah, with the multi-service.
Yeah, the tri-service centre.
Yeah.
So applied for that, got it.
Cool.
By far one of the hardest things I do, because as a call taker, you've got two screens in front of you.
Yeah.
And you've like got your bit where you enter your details, and like you've got a map. Why you've got a map, I don't know. I don't need to see where the truck's going from. And like your bit for your call taking software.
Yeah.
When you become a dispatcher, you've got 5 screens, and it is like playing. Like playing the world's worst computer game.
Yeah.
There are no winners in dispatching, just losers.
Yeah.
And again, this was back in the day where we weren't that busy.
Yeah, you were still doing a couple of jobs a day, but it wasn't that many jobs
ridiculous.
a day. Yeah.
So that was the most difficult thing I'd ever, and I just couldn't get the hang of the job.
Yeah. Okay.
And after like a bit of extended mentoring, this, that, and the other, I had to go like, no, this
not for me.
This not for me.
Yeah. Okay. So like fucking hats off to you fucking dispatchers, like
honestly,
because nobody likes you. No, we
Kyle,
do.
nobody likes you either.
No, nobody likes me. No, no dispatchers, we do like you, and it's just policy, isn't it? And it just feels like you're getting bent over by the dispatcher sometimes, but that's not what's happening.
No, they have got 3 other managers looking at them, who then in turn have other you can't. It's not like being on the road. You can escape, and there's no management. It's you and your crewmate. There are managers everywhere.
Yeah. And, so someone's got they're breathing down their neck and stuff like that, and it's not cricket.
It's a weird environment to work in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So had to say like
hats off to you.
Yeah. Well done, guys. Couldn't do your job.
I couldn't do your job, John. Oh, John, I
can't do my job. Just that confident. People believe anything. People still think I'm a paramedic.
A what?
A what? Spicy first aider. So had to say it's not for me.
At least you were like open and honest about it.
Yeah, because I'd learned from the ECA fiasco, the first ECA fiasco.
Many ECA fiasco.
Absolutely. So then, as that decision was being made, one of the dispatch assistants went off long-term sick. They're like,
okay,
do you want to fill in for their job?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure. So then could kind of learn the job slow time.
Okay. Yeah, because then you're being you're not directly responsible, but you're like, oh, okay, dip your hand in and
absolutely
help out. Okay.
So got to learn the job slow time, and then eventually budget cutbacks being what they are, as we've already spoken about, the Gloucester Dispatch Centre was shut down.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, you have all now got to go and work in Bristol, which for me, I was used to that.
Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of people were like, sod that. Not happening.
Yeah, no chance.
So they suddenly found themselves with a lack of dispatchers.
Okay.
And staff retention wasn't brilliant at the time, so there were a lack of dispatchers in the other hub.
What's staff retention?
Shh. we do not talk about that. So they were like,
the first rule about retention is we don't talk about retention.
Literally. So they're like, could you act back up as a dispatcher? So yeah, did that.
And you'd had some time then.
Had some time, was more comfortable with the job, and yeah, I really enjoyed dispatching. It is like playing the world's worst computer game, but it's better than call taking.
Yeah, I mean, like, so my time when I was still in, I went down to dispatch a few times, like, and I just jumped on like the Cat 1 desk and stuff like that with CSD, and I just listened. I just watched the call takers, and it was horrendous. I mean, I don't know what the time. Someone can comment if they know, but from the time that you've dealt with a call, you pass it over to CSD or you pass it over to Hem's desk or whatever, and then is it like 30 seconds or a minute, and it's like next call, next call, next call,
and you don't get a warning. You get a beep in your ear, so you've got a headset on,
and then it's a pedal.
And it's
is dispatch a pedal?
Dispatch is a pedal for the radio.
Yeah, but call taker's just next call.
Call taker's, literally nothing.
And it's 12 hours.
You get beep in your ear.
Yeah.
Away you go.
Fuck.
Honestly.
Like, I've seen it from start to finish, but I haven't seen the time between calls, because that must be fucking ruthless.
It's New Year's Eve was the worst night I've ever worked.
Yeah, because it's busy and there's a bit of camaraderie there, and
there is
I just had a piss fella fall down.
Camaraderie. We're all suffering together. We're trauma bonding. Yeah. So I was meant to be on a night shift, and I somehow managed to swap it to a 4 till 4.
Oh.
Which was
so gross.
And it was
4 in the morning till 4 at night, or 4 after
4 in the afternoon to 4 in the morning, and it was the weirdest thing ever, because it was the one night of the year where the ambulance service is suitably staffed.
Yeah.
In the call centre, so I'm call taking at this point, and we all just sat round there's 4 or 5 minutes between each call.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people answering calls, and it's the weirdest thing. There was a load of experienced EMD, so emergency medical dispatcher, is what they're known as, EMDs. And they were like, you wait, it'll get to midnight.
Yeah.
Everyone will have a little party, and then a minute past midnight, it's just going to kick off.
Yeah.
It's not.
Club kicking out.
It's not going to happen. And like, sure as shit, midnight happened, fireworks, everyone's like, "Wee, Happy New Year," all that good
it's
stuff.
It's the fuck around and find out graph. It's that, isn't it? It's
so
like,
literally a
fuck
minute,
around,
so
you
like,
find out.
everyone loves each other. They're like, New Year, new me. And then a minute past midnight, they remember what dickheads everyone were to them the previous year. They're like, actually, I'm still holding a grudge.
I'm starting this year. I'm choosing violence.
Literally. And then for like... So I was there for 4 more hours, and in 4 hours we did 800 calls, which was
a record.
On any normal day a 24-hour period.
Yeah, that's horrendous. Yeah,
and that's in the sleepy southwest. Like what you boys and girls in like London and West Mids must go through is
fuck that. Still yet to have a West Midlands or LAS paramedic on, so yeah, we'll wait and see.
So where was I? So yeah, went back to dispatching. Was quite comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
Dispatching, and I wasn't too fussed about progressing at this point. Advert for ECA come out, and like
just an internal email, like
so there was an advert on NHS jobs, and I was like, umming and ahhing. I was like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
What have I've got nothing to lose, and I think that was my saving grace.
Okay.
In that I wasn't so invested.
Yeah. You weren't.
It was the be all and end all.
Yeah, like you're comfortable within a job.
Yeah.
You're in the service.
Yeah.
And I guess like, if you apply and you don't get it, literally,
and that's literally what it was.
And it's not this massive drive for you anymore.
No.
It's just like, okay, right, fine.
So applied for it on the sort of basis that like, well, yeah, like literally, I'm comfortable in a job, but let's it'd be good to go through the interview process again. Went through the interview process, got the job.
Yeah. Okay.
So 2014, did my training was wonderful. 6 weeks in Plymouth.
Oh, nice.
In one of the fanciest. So this was back when they put you up for your training.
I was in a hotel.
And I was put up in the fanciest hotel ever. And they were like, "Oh, you've got to drive from like Gloucestershire. Like, do you want to come down on Sunday night? We'll pay for that as well." Like,
yes, I do.
Absolutely, yes, I do.
Yeah. Please pay for me.
Please, thank you. So like 6 weeks down in Plymouth. Was with a great bunch of guys and girls.
Is anyone else still in?
Yeah, quite a few of them, I think.
Okay.
I was the only one from like North Division. So North Division was the former GWAS.
Okay, right, yeah. So rest of them are like Cornwall, Devon, Bournemouth,
Dorset,
Bournemouth, okay, right,
yeah. And
Dorch. All right, my babbers.
Had an amazing 6 weeks doing that. Then we got split for our driving course.
Oh, okay.
So they all stayed in Plymouth, and I went off to Dorset, and there were 2 other people on my driving course. So we had just the one car.
Okay.
That was an amazing 3 weeks, herring around the southwest, learning all this advanced driving stuff. Shout out to
this had me as well.
Top instructor.
Yeah. He basically wrote the blue book. Didn't he?
Yeah, like that man has forgotten more about driving than I'll ever know.
Yeah.
I can't repeat much of what was said during our course. For those of you that don't know, you know why I can't. But top lad.
He's a good lad.
Yeah. And then started Staverton, 2014.
Cool.
First shift was with TJ. If you can remember
I do know TJ. No, I do know TJ. I still work with TJ.
And I remember coming. So like I've got my couple of years in the hub. I've got my time with St John. I've done the course. I'm like, yeah, I can blag my way through a job. I reckon I can.
Yeah.
I reckon. Wasn't being arrogant, but like I reckon I could fumble my way. Literally wing my way through a job.
Yeah. I can go in and say hello to people.
We did some third manning during the course. First third manning shift was with Alex Day and Andy.
Okay. Yeah.
The highlight of that shift was what did we do?
You asked me the same question.
Yeah, I did. I think
first day.
First patient was a patient who had a seizure.
Okay.
And we took them to Cheltenham, but Cheltenham wasn't quite open yet because it was before 8 o'clock. We were on a 6 a.m. start, so we had to sit outside for a little bit.
So non-eventful, really.
Non-eventful. My second shift was with Rich and Hannah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Again, 6 a.m. shift. We're checking the truck. We're doing the stuff and things. We get tipped out to a car versus cyclist. So there's me, brand new ECA. It's like, yeah, I've been in the hub. I know the deal. It's probably going to be nothing. So I get out my brand new shiny high-vis, zip it up, do up all the buttons so we can get there.
It's like, because it's
walking
it's rigid
like that,
as fuck.
It's rigid as fuck.
Yeah.
So
you can always tell how long someone's had a high-vis because it's like it's just this crumpled mess.
So
like,
we can get
it's
there.
Not really shiny.
This was brighter than my future.
Yeah. You always know a new copper as well because
really
the stabby is like this. You're like, holy shit! Like, gets out of the car. Do you have a driving license? Like,
does your mum know you're doing this? So it's like I'm there going. I've been in the hub long enough to know that this is going to be a nothing job because it wasn't on a particularly fast road.
No.
And I'm sat in the airway seat, so we've got a little hatch just there.
Yeah.
Hannah's driving, Rich is in the seat. And I sort of shout through, have we had an update yet? Like, yeah. Confirmed arrest, CPR in progress. I was like, undo all the buttons.
I better take that fucking jacket off.
Unzip the jacket.
Yeah. Put the lightweight one on.
Put the lightweight one on, because this is going to be messy. So, like, my first job of my third manning shift was a traumatic cardiac arrest, which kind of set the tone for my ECA career. Yeah, that was I was a bit like,
yeah. It's all right. Rich is a really good paramedic.
Honestly,
so, yeah.
Of all the paramedics I could have been with, he I still maintain, hand on heart, he is the best paramedic in Gloucestershire. Or one of the best. One of the best.
Fight and talk that.
That is fight and talk.
Gloucester paramedics, you better fucking retweet this
but
shit.
He is one of the best. Honestly.
Rich will be too busy doing his...
it would be too busy making reindeer.
No. What did I catch him doing in the RRV one night? Was it Reese?
That is a loaded question, my friend.
He was sat outside. He was... I think he was waiting for like RAC or someone like that to come and do his tyre or something. And he's just there, and it was like pre-Christmas, and he's making wreaths. And I'm just like, dude. And he's like, I've got to do something.
Yeah, 100%. So that was shift number 2 of my third man. But anyway, first day with TJ. First job, not breathing, not conscious. Of course. And we get there, and the one thing they don't teach you in like ECA school, student paramedic school, whatever, is like
bullshit detector.
No, it's just how to talk to people.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got there, and I can still remember this job vividly. Of this
TJ, please comment on this
of this,
and see if you remember this.
This lady has been unfortunately found dead by her family members. And like TJ's gone and he's walking in, he's doing his stuff and things, and I walk in, brand new ECA. It's like, I don't know where to stand, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do.
It's just this really awkward, like fucking.
It was that crystallising moment then when I realised I know fuck all.
I know fuck all. Do you know what that reminds me of? It's Talladega Nights when he's Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Honestly, it was at that point. It's like, I've got so much to fucking learn.
Yeah. It's just this an uphill struggle to fuck.
Yeah, literally. And then I think second shift, we took a major trauma patient down to Southmead.
Yeah. So shit kicking from the start, basically.
Honestly, so like from the start of being like most people around the stations I've worked at know me as a bit of a shit magnet. I'm not anymore. But when I was in ECA, there was a point of my ECA career I was averaging an arrest a week.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's pretty shit magnety.
Yeah,
very shit magnety. It's almost on par with me.
Almost on par with you. And then I qualified. I had like a week or two of carnage. And then it settled down.
Everyone has that first week. Like any NQP that I see, or I used to do the inductions for them.
Yeah.
And I was always like, just be ready.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, what do you mean? I had nothing as a student. I had nothing as they had bits and pieces or whatever. And I'm like, for whatever reason, the gods out there do not like new people.
No.
Like, I hear it from doctors and nurses and police though.
Yeah.
Like, it's your first week with those things on your shoulder to say
you are now
responsible for something. Like, your FY1s, your brand new shiny police officers, your NQNs, and it's always like, for fuck's sake, for fuck's sake. Like, I was speaking to a midwife the other day.
But it's never like, so like the role I do now, I look after newly qualified paramedics for their preceptorship.
Yeah.
The 14 shifts we have to have with them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because you're there.
Because I'm there.
It's like
the minute they're off on their own,
we're like the fucking shield, and it's like, yeah, I'll just protect you for just this 1 minute, all right? And then when it all goes to rat shit,
yeah, we're gonna.
I'm off.
Yeah, I'm going, and the pin's getting pulled from that grenade.
Yeah. Just like woof, goodbye. No, I was speaking to a midwife the other day, and they have to do like X amount of like difficult births and stuff like that for their portfolio. Sure. And like shoulder dystocias, like major hemorrhage, like just the same sort of things that we would have to have signed off before we can become a paramedic.
The sort of thing that when you walk in, they go, "Oh, thank God you're here." It's like, you're the midwife.
Yeah, you're the fucking midwife.
I've got a week if I'm lucky on maternity training.
Yeah. So and we were having a laugh, and I was like, "Oh, is the first week of being a midwife like the first week of being a paramedic?" And she looked at me and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I explained, and she's like, "Oh my God." She was like, everyone suffers that. She goes, there was some weird and wonderful thing that she had never seen before, and she was on a birthing unit or a maternity, like a non-complicated one.
Yeah,
like it should have just been, this is baby number 2. It's just gonna come out. She knows the deal. Like it's gonna be okay. And then apparently, like it was like, oh, her second day. Like, but this was her patient. Yeah. Like this was. From start to finish, this was going to be her patient. First one, on her own, no mentor, no senior midwife. There's someone down the corridor, but this is her fucking just rat shit. It's just like, and she came home the day and she was like, I don't know if I want to be a midwife anymore. Like, fuck.
I still remember my first cardiac arrest as a paramedic. It was not long into being qualified. And I was with a fairly junior ECA. But I don't take exception to that. We've all had to be new at some point.
Absolutely, yeah. But when you're both new and you're like,
so it came through as like at a bus stop, not conscious, not breathing, and then like so everyone is being sent because it's a job in public, and they suddenly went. It suddenly went like got downgraded. They went, oh, it's just you going. Apparently they are breathing, but it's just really slow. And immediately in my head, it's just like alarm bells ring. Go, no, it's probably agonal breathing.
Yeah. Are they breathing? Yeah, they're kind of breathing, but yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. Like, no, I'm definitely gonna worry about it.
Sure as shit, we get there, and it is agonal breathing.
Yeah,
and I've never picked up a radio so fucking quickly in all.
Please send everyone. Yeah, please send everyone.
Literally, I've just got there. It's a confirmed arrest. Please send everyone. I'm like, can you repeat? No, I've got stuff to do.
I know this is non-PC, but in your head it's just like
literally.
It's just one continuous fuck.
Literally.
Like,
so I've had
like crescendoing
all of the stuff and things to do, and like there's members of the Royal College of Bystanders fucking everywhere. And then I can't really remember the job.
Yeah.
But like I got backed up by like, another crew, an OO, and like Rich me up.
Oh fucking hell!
The man himself.
He was like, "All right, mate." How's
Literally,
it
he arrived. He went, "Oh, you don't need me. You've done everything." He's like, "No, I haven't. I've done." He's like,
"I've done nothing. Please come back."
He's like, "What haven't you done?" It's like, I don't know, but.
But it sounds fucky wooky.
But no, in true style, he assured me I had done everything, and we talked through the job. But it was just like,
if anyone smells shit, it's the patient. It's not me.
So yeah, that's and then sort of qualified as paramedic 2019.
So just sort of like looping back to your training.
Yeah.
So student to Matt. Were you Matt's student for 3 years?
No, not for 3, for 2. So initially I had Holly.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. It's really bad. It's really bad of me, but I still call it Holly.
So she's still
and then
saved
she just
in my
looks
phone
at me
as
like,
Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly. I don't know whether she listens or not.
I had some really funny shifts with Holly.
So you did your first 12 months with her?
Year 1 was with Holly. Year 2 and 3 were with Matt.
Okay.
Loved working with both of them. Both phenomenal clinicians. Aside from the time that Holly nearly got me shot.
Well, I think we'll start there because my next sort of question was there any moments within training or just within your studentship or within the last couple of years as being registered that you've just gone, fuck this? And I think, well, almost getting shot is probably one of them.
I mean, almost getting shot's a bit of an exaggeration. But anyway, so we're doing... we got sent to a job. I can't remember where we were. I'm obviously going to keep the details fairly vague. I'd like to keep my registration.
I think that's why like loads of people are a bit scared to come on
and
tell these stories, because like they're like, oh, I'm gonna lose my registration. It's like, no, if they're anonymous as fuck, like what are they gonna do?
So we got sent on this job because a bystander had called someone because they looked like they were walking funny. Didn't stop to ask if they were okay.
Yeah. They're
just trouble 9, your problem.
I'll ring you an ambulance, mate.
I'm gonna call you an ambulance.
Classic.
So we have driven round for like 20 minutes, and like Holly has this uncanny ability to find patients.
Oh, I've worked with people like that before. Yeah, absolutely.
Like any other time, you'd search for 3 hours and you'd not find
a person. Yeah,
Holly.
Yeah. Oh, is that
Holly finds these people?
Is that a finger? Like, oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, found him.
So we've eventually found the patient. And he said his foot was hurting. He's like, okay, like we're on an ambulance car, an RRV, so not the best environment to assess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's like, well, I live just down there. It's like, oh, cool. Well,
yeah.
You know.
Do you want to jump in or hobble him?
Like literally, we were 20, 30 feet from his front door.
Oh, okay, fine.
So
you'd almost got all the way home, basically.
Almost.
And if another 30 seconds, and you probably wouldn't have found him.
Literally. So Holly's walked up. Either I've walked off or Holly's walked off. I can't remember who's walked off with who, but one of us has gone with the patient. Right. One of us has gone to park the car up.
Yeah, okay.
I think Holly went off with him. I've gone to park the car. So I've gone and knocked on the door.
Yeah.
And been let in, and Holly is white as a ghost.
Oh, shit.
And, like, this house, like, you go to, like, cluttered houses and stuff. Like, this house wasn't cluttered. It was barren. But, like...
Oh, like, nothing in it?
Like, imagine playing Fallout.
Yeah.
And you go into an abandoned building.
Okay, so there's like a telly in the corner and like one chair.
And that sort of like a mattress on the floor.
Okay,
and, like,
yeah. So definitely not a hoarder.
Definitely not a hoarder. And like we're, chatting through what's going on and this, that and the other. And like Holly's just all like
John,
have you seen in the corner there? Like, no, like there's a gun. I beg your finest pardon.
Que paso?
Okay. And sure enough, in the corner there was a 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh, right, okay.
Just
loaded
next to a fucking Gurt machete.
Oh, like a kukri. So the Gurkha's knife.
No. This was just a big.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said a Gurkha.
No, like a Gurt.
A Gurt.
Gurt long machete.
Gurt machete. Oh, okay.
So we have understandably
gone. Fuck this.
We left something in the car. We'll be back in a minute. So we've walked out
There's just been a green blur of Holly and John.
We have walked out into a locked courtyard.
Oh.
So we can't get out. So Holly has
threatened you with it, I guess. But
we've never threatened it, but equally like.
Yeah, was that snap or was it over and under? Or
I honestly can't remember the details. But
shit, okay.
There was a gun.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to try and make it safe. I could, but I wasn't going to. So Holly has gone off to try and get us out, and has knocked on this random door, and this guy is like, "Oh yes, come in." I just follow.
I think the fuck not.
So she's looked at me terrified, be like, "John, come over here." It's like, if I'm going through this randomer's house, I want there to be at least 2 of us, because the student can be sacrificed. I am replaceable.
Sacrificial student.
So we've then gone through this random guy's house and got back to the car and like, "Police!" And they've eventually turned up and they've gone in, and he like the gun wasn't a threat and this, that and the other, and they're like, "Cool, do you want the paramedics to come back in?" "Oh no, I'm fine. I don't know why like they were with me."
You fucking invited us in, dickhead. It's like, yeah, okay.
So yeah.
Thumbs up. Nice. Fucking. Oh, I don't know why you're with us. Oh, I don't know. Someone contacted an ambulance for you, apparently. Like,
yeah.
Fucking
but
hell.
No, loved working with Holly. And there was also the time that she invited a random cat into someone's house.
No. Holly is the cat whisperer.
She is.
The cat whisperer. She backed me up on a job, And she walks in, she's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "All right." And beforehand, there was no cats.
She arrived,
and there was 2 cats.
Yeah.
And the patient went, "Oh, have you met my cats?" And Holly comes in carrying them. And I was just like,
"That's such a Holly thing to do."
I was like, "Holly, put the cats down. Like, you can't have them."
So we've turned up
and
to a
she's there
job,
like,
and this
"Meow."
cat's following us into the house, and Holly's like beckoning the cat in, and the owner's like, "That's not my cat."
Yeah, don't take random cats into the fucking. Just like, oh yeah, so.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was. It looked lonely.
Oh, it's so lonely.
So yeah, Holly is a cat whisperer.
Oh god. So that's been your like fuck this moment.
Yeah.
So you had Holly, had Matt, and then
phenomenal clinician, Matt.
You've done. I always call Matt Mr. ECG because like.
Oh, honestly,
like what he doesn't know about ECG. Like I'm
worth
all right. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But he is like, oh yeah, it's this random block or this random
wave
like, pathology
or, yeah.
that I have never heard of before. And he's like, did you not know that? And I'm like, no,
like, no, I didn't
Matt,
know that.
I am Matt. I'm pretty sure that's like
cardiology
doctor level shit. And he's like, probably. So you had Holly for a year, and then you had
Matt
for 2. Qualified, went out into the big wide world of fuckery.
And my first shift, I can still remember.
What as a paramedic?
So I was on nights as a pre-registered tech or pre-registered.
Yeah. So you're allowed the I don't know what it is in other trusts, but technicians in Southwest have the little drugs bag.
The little drugs bag.
You're not allowed the big boy drugs bag, even though it's not even that big scary drugs, but so you had your tech bag and then you did your first shift. Yeah.
So went home from that shift as a pre-reg tech.
Yeah.
Went to sleep. Woke up to loads of messages in the uni chat.
Yeah.
But has everyone seen? So I've immediately gone onto the HCPC website.
Check the register.
And there is, after years of trying, and honestly, this was one of the second proudest moment. The first proudest moment was when I got accepted into uni.
Okay, yeah.
Like, honestly, that was...
Because you did full-time university, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I didn't go through the trust.
Okay.
Honestly, the day I got accepted into uni, just it really was. I can still remember reading the email. Like you've got a conditional offer, and then like telling my mum and all the family finding out, and it's just so good. So I've woke up and there is my name.
Yeah. There's
my registration number. I was like, oh fuck,
shit! I'm fucking responsible for stuff.
It's happened. I've achieved. I say a live stream. It'd been something I'd wanted to do for a few years.
And it's a bit of graft, like
it was some graft.
Like, all of yous out there that have done it, or they're just about to finish, like fair fucks to you. We were meant to have,
especially the people that don't do anything healthcare related, like people who come straight from school to being a paramedic. Like, hats off to you.
Yeah, fair fucks.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the shift I was meant to be going into as a pre-reg tech, everyone's suddenly like,
clinician.
Oh, you can't really work on your own. Because gone are the days where they're like, paramedic, wonderful, first shift on the car, off you fuck.
See you later.
That didn't happen. So my first ever shift as a paramedic, I was with Lucy
nice.
And Simon.
Oh, for whoever knows Simon out there, Simon is the loveliest bloke in the universe
that you will ever meet.
He is the most polite, gentle, like salt of the earth dude.
He really is.
He is
just the loveliest.
Nothing fucking face. I've seen a guy like screaming in his face, and Simon's like, just okay. It probably helps that he's like 6'7".
Oh yeah, he is. He told.
Yeah, big boy. Oh, that's lovely.
So Lucy I trained with. Lucy and I were on the same course.
Yeah, about to say, so you got your reg at the same time.
Yeah.
So Simon had to look after 2 brand new paramedics.
Yeah. Me and Lucy and Simon was our first shift, and we did absolutely nothing of note.
Yeah, it was just all just whatever. Yeah, cruisy jobs.
Just cruisy stuff. We did a job in Cirencester. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But it was,
nothing of memory.
There was nothing to write home about.
Right.
Okay. But like coming into shift, I don't know what I was expecting. But like came in and like obviously there were a few officers and managers about, and they're like, oh, you're paramedic.
Congratulations.
Now. Well, it wasn't even that. Like, I suppose you want a morphine box and a morphine book now. There you go. Well done. Like,
oh.
Thanks.
Well, that's a bit bit nicer. I remember that feeling as well. So the uni chat, like obviously I was I was internal conversion. Yeah. So, but our chat was going nuts. Like, oh, has everyone seen the fucking thing? And I was like, and I just didn't read it because it was like one of those chats that was on mute and you only checked every so often.
Absolutely.
And then I walked into work, and again working as a pre-reg like thing, and then a pair of epaulets in the plastic bag they come in. As I was walking past the OO's office to go to the morphine cupboard, all this like bink, like, and I was like, what? And they're like, oh, and he goes, "You're on the register as of midnight. Fuck off." And I was just like, "Oh, what?"
Damn.
Like, and it was literally just like, "There you go.
There you go.
Like,
off you.
Here's a book. Here's your drugs." Like,
it was very anticlimactic. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was very.
I think it's a bit different from everyone.
Don't get me wrong. I did have a big party to celebrate qualifying as a paramedic.
Yeah. That's cool.
Still remember getting my first epaulets. My first epaulets I then in turn gave to my first student when she qualified.
Oh, that's really nice.
So Jess, you've already had one shout out on this podcast. You're getting another. But when she qualified, I gave her my first set of paramedic epaulets.
It's like a hand me down.
As like a little sort of good luck
that's really
thing.
Nice.
Sorry if that makes you cry.
Ryan did that for me.
Did he?
Yeah. Ryan gave me a set.
Ryan gave you a set of unhealthy coping mechanisms.
No, I think I gave him some unhealthy coping mechanisms. I think because I was a mature student, like we had a bit more
mature.
Yeah, mature. We had a bit more of a rapport. It was more of a it developed into a friendship. Yeah, so like he's one of my best mates now. But there was just that like different dynamic. It wasn't like, oh, this guy's a kid from university. It's like no, he's just
he's just a fucking idiot.
He's just a fucking idiot. But no, he gave me a set of
not you, Ryan.
So you've done all that, and then I mean, like, you've come to kind of join me a little bit, being a merc.
I'm dipping my toe into the world
dipping your toe into the private life,
private
sector. But in between all that, obviously, anyone that knows you is that you're a critical care hopeful.
That is where I'd like my career to end up.
Absolutely. So that's a pathway that some of us, not all of us, want to do.
No, although it does feel like a bit of like everyone you speak to, I want to join HEMS, but like it's...
So everyone you speak to in first year, I want to join HEMS. By third year, they're like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. Or it's not something they aspire to anymore. Like, it's the initial, like, I want to do that. And then you speak to your CCPs who have done an MSc. They've done what did Vicky do?
What hasn't Vicky?
No,
done?
Well, yeah.
It's
not a PhD, is it?
She's done a master's. She's done a DIP IMC.
That's it.
DIP.
Oh,
DIP.
Oh no, I thought you DIMC, the DIMC. The Royal College of Surgeons.
Yeah, that's the DIP IMC. So the diploma in immediate medical care. She's then gone off and done the fellowship.
Oh shit! Okay.
So which means
hence this RSI.
She can
thingy.
now work at like consultant level, I think.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Like what that lady is doing for the world of paramedic practice.
Yeah.
And
cool
women in FEM is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's cool as shit.
So yeah, very much a critical care hopeful. It's what I'd like to do. If it ever happens, I don't know.
So you did a bit of trainee APP. I keep having to. I keep going to say ACP. But it's not that. So that was...
So the story to get to that is a bit long and windy.
Yeah.
So when I was in ECA, I went to a paediatric cardiac arrest for a 6-week-old.
Oh, shit, okay. Teeny tiny.
I can still remember his name, which I'm obviously not going to say, but I can remember so many fine details about the job, including the officer... it wasn't officer. It was the paramedic on the RRV. It's one of the things we still laugh about. And it's probably the only thing about that job we can laugh at. Kicking down the wrong door to the wrong house to some poor old lady who was sat on the toilet.
Yeah. Well, they definitely got her moving.
And then suddenly this paramedic with all this fucking kit comes busting through the door, and it's the wrong house. So
was it like next door, or was it like
no? It's the other end of the street. Mapping wasn't quite what it is today, but anyway, we went to this job.
Well, of course, you just see, like, with something like that, you would just be like, fuck it, so I ain't knocking.
I was working with Nick at the time. We were crewmates. Shout out to another phenomenal paramedic.
Get him on with the bagpipes.
I was incredibly keen. I was an hour early for every shift, and I would wash the truck in and out.
Dude.
And we booked on...
I have never been that committed.
I honestly...
I like my sleep too much.
For whatever reason, I hadn't quite got around to starting washing the outside of the truck, so Nick's checking the inside. I've just covered the truck in suds.
Sudsy, baby.
Sudsy.
Sudsy.
We've logged on, and I've heard Nick go, John, we've got to get a move on for this one. And for those of you that know Nick, he has one speed, and that speed is slow.
It's Nick speed.
And to hear Nick say, we need to get a move on for a job, shenanigans is happening.
I call shenanigans.
So we have responded to this job. The aftercare for it, like, it was the first effectively dead child I've seen. We've responded to the job. We've done some stuff and things. It wasn't a great outcome, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Had like trim and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that would have been 2015 or 16.
Okay.
Probably 15. I've then sort of, we've been off the road for the day. We've done stuff and things. I've then gone off to uni, and I've basically slept, lived, breathed ambulance service for the best part of X amount of years, and probably didn't have the time off I should have. So one night, me and my ex-fiancée are sat watching Comic Relief. An appeal film comes on where the child in the film arrests, and they do a encircling technique for CPR, which is what they did on the patient I went to.
Yeah, okay.
No idea what happened next. I was no longer sat in my living room having a takeaway. I was stood in the hospital we took the kid to, watching them do the resuscitation. And just had a complete breakdown.
Yeah.
So ended up, antidepressants, counselling, all that good stuff. Got through it.
Fair fucks to you?
Fair fucks, yeah. So got through it. That was
fucks. Like.
So yeah, I probably should have taken a break from the course and a bit of time out from the ambulance service, but didn't, because I just wanted to get through the course. Because it's all I wanted
that's
to do.
all of us really. Like, we all get to, like, we've only got X amount of, like, jobs in us, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
so...
But, and, we can mitigate that, but, we all get to the fucking point where it's like...
You've seen and done enough.
Like,
the bucket is full.
Fucking bucket.
So, qualified 2019, COVID pandemic comes along 2020 as an NQP. That has its...
Fuckery!
So that, again, leaves a bit of an indelible mark on me. And for my own mental health, I end up going part-time. So go part-time, that's allowed me to go off and do some other stuff and things with other services.
It's always good shit.
And explore some different job opportunities.
I am the biggest advocate for going off and doing other shit.
Honestly, go off, do other... There's so much you can do as a paramedic. So, like, one of the jobs I did, I went off and I worked with a fire service doing clinical governance, which sounds boring. Phenomenal laugh.
Yeah.
So went part-time. It allowed me to do some other stuff and some things, meet some phenomenal people.
Absolutely.
Still have the critical care hopes and dreams at the back of my mind. Now, a very good friend of mine, Dr. James Tooley, big shout out to James. He will have to come on here. James has been
I mean, I don't have a point of contact with him.
I do.
There's a couple of doctors that I follow on, like, Twitter. I've met them on plenty of jobs, and I met them the other week. Another thing I was doing, and I'm like, do you know what? Like, I'd fucking love to pick your brain.
Absolutely.
I'd love to pick your brain because, like, they're so, like, their knowledge is so vast as a consultant, and they've experienced, what's consultant now? 12 years?
Something like that, depending on your specialty.
Just to get to 12 years, like, just to get to consultant, there must be so much funny shit that goes on. Absolutely. And then especially, like, Tooley, he's done HEMS for...
Oh, he's done loads of stuff.
How many years?
2012 he started.
Yeah, and he's a paediatric consultant.
Paediatric, neonatal and pre-hospital care.
Yeah, so he does, like, fucking dinky babies.
He does,
like
500 gram dinky
So
babies.
he ain't scared of shit.
No, and James has been a constant source of inspiration. He has helped me in more ways than he probably knows.
Yeah. Again, if any doctors or anyone wants to come on, fucking just shout, because, chat shit.
So James,
I can't wait till episode 10.
James is a big fan of paramedics. He thinks we can do a lot of stuff and things.
Yeah. So he's a massive advocate.
He is, and he works with a neonatal retrieval team. So they effectively go out to smaller hospitals.
Is that Nest?
It was. They've changed their name.
Okay, fine.
They go out, they retrieve small babies from small hospitals, bring them back to centralise the care. They put out an advert for trainee advanced paramedic practitioner.
Okay.
Doing critical care stuff.
Cool.
12-month fixed term.
So
thing.
like you're getting your extended skills. And,
kind of,
you know,
yeah. So
you're
when often
intubation and drugs and pumps
that sort
and
of thing
vents and
on like 500-gram 22-week preterm infants.
give them all caffeine, baby.
Caffeine. Everyone loves caffeine.
Everyone.
So went off and did that for 12-18 months. It was a very difficult job. It wasn't quite for me, so I no longer do that.
Okay. Yeah.
But
at least you know. So I always say to people who have got a goal or a path, like whatever you do in the meantime, like is going to broaden your horizons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, so I've worked in end of life care before I was a paramedic, and that made me a better paramedic.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It added to my
so
hat trick, basically.
Yeah. So
you know, I can pull shit.
I'm now incredibly comfortable dealing with
small people,
little people.
Yeah.
So yeah, no longer do that, but went off and did that training for 12-18 months, and worked with some phenomenal people. And yeah, it was a cool job. However, like on days where we weren't doing stuff, like being stuck in an office didn't work for me.
Yeah, no.
Like we can do sim and we can do training and audit and all that, but like,
sat at a desk doing paperwork. It's not.
And that's why
it's not in any of us.
It's not in any of us.
It never has been.
No.
And I think when we're forced into a corner like that, it's like, oh, this just reassures me.
I don't want to do this.
Like, fuck working in an office.
Fuck the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Office
I mean, you
job.
can do it as long as there's a divide. Like, you know, you can do that for a day or two.
Yeah.
But then you can go off and do jobs, or you can
absolutely.
go and do training, or you can do whatever.
So I did a split role. So I did part-time ambulance service.
Yeah, and that probably like kept you busy.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Fucking hell. So obviously, like with that, with like your time in training, your time as a para.
Yep.
You asked me this question on episode 1. So, what would your funniest day like? So everyone's got the story. So I say this to all my guests: everyone's got the story that comes out when you've had a beat. Like even if you don't drink, you're down the pub, you're with friends, and it always comes out. The Woody doll comes out for me because people ask me, and I tell them it's just the one that's like, you know, straight to your brain, like comes out like that was fucking. And it doesn't have to be a patient. It can be like your crewmate falling out of the truck. It can be like, you know, something occurring to a family member, or you crash the truck. Like you can.
I have never crashed the truck. I've been crashed into.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
A crewmate shitting themselves. That's always a good one. General comedy, something that your crewmate has said or you've said by accident, like.
Oh God.
It's always a hard one.
It's always a hard one because I don't want to incriminate anyone.
Well, you don't have to anonymous. Like keep it anonymous as fucking possible. I mean, I managed to. I don't quite know how, but I've had no backlash so far. Probably because no one's going to come forward with a Woody doll shoved up their ass. But it doesn't have to be that.
Funniest day on the job. Oh God. What comes to mind? So I was working. I was working the night shift before, so going into my birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Commitment.
I didn't have much choice in the matter, unfortunately. And
Thank you, ROC.
I was double paramedic with one of my best friends.
Like we talked about in fucking episode 1.
Yeah.
Getting the band back together. Yeah. Like.
He's a very thoughtful chap, and he brought in cake for when it turned midnight. And this was.
Did you drive around with a birthday cake?
He
was
did.
It in the center console?
He kept this quiet. I didn't know.
Oh, okay, right.
So he brought in cake. And this was back in the days before hospital handover delays and all that.
Okay.
So the stars aligned that we were just clearing Gloucester Royal at around midnight-ish.
Okay, yeah.
Midnight hour. So he pulls out the cake. He's like, I've got you this. He's like, I'll get some candles. And
no
he
one's
had
ever done that for me.
He had some normal candles, and then he had some. Well, what I can only describe as a fucking distress flare.
Well, like a road stick.
Well, because it's like one of these sparkly candles, but on like a fucking industrial scale. So like,
is it one for like a wedding cake?
Honestly, so he set this fucking thing up, and like out comes the light. Like,
oh, so you were complicit in this?
No. I was sat in the driver's seat watching him put all the candles in.
And you thought, all right, okay.
And it's like, he's going to go outside and light this. And like, the truck doors are open.
I don't know whether I need to block this out or not.
So
do I need to block this out?
No, it's fine. So he started lighting the fucking small candles in the truck. Fair enough. And then comes the distress flare.
Please don't tell me it was like a Roman candle and it was just popping shit off. No?
I won't tell you that then, but he has lit this thing, and I have never got out of a truck so fucking quickly in all my life. And
I have seen the CCTV footage of like him running down the ambulance being like, fuck.
He has lit this thing, and the sparks from it have been next level. And I've had to like get out of the fucking truck.
Where was it? Was it on his lap?
Yeah. And he's just sat there like, I know what to do. Like, get out of the fucking ambulance. There's compressed gas in it. Yes, it's in the back, but
Jesus
get out.
Christ.
So he's then just had to put this cake down in front of the truck, so it now looks like we're wishing the ambulance a happy birthday. And wait for this fucking sparkler to go out before we can all cut the cake.
Did he put happy birthday on the Bluetooth while he was giving it to
No, that's a missed opportunity. He fucking should have. That would have been chef's kiss.
So you didn't set the fire on the truck? You didn't set the truck on fire?
He still had his eyebrows, but my God, I've never moved so quickly.
Like a fucking click, yeet!
I know I'm a big lad, but I can fucking move when I need to.
Was there anyone else in the ambulance bay?
No, there wasn't.
Oh, wasn't there?
No.
Was any of the nurses out or anything?
No, I don't know if there are any other independent witnesses to this. If they are, you can please step forward.
Yeah,
and
please,
verify the story.
because I want to fucking hear it. And if anyone has any footage of it, fucking even better. Please show me.
Footage may exist. I can neither confirm, deny, or in any other way comment.
Yeah, don't enable yourself, please. Oh, fucking hell.
Honestly.
Jesus Christ.
Working with the same person, he once managed to balance a truck on two wheels. Opposite wheels. So we were ECA at the time.
It was like an off-road course or something.
No. Don't know. So we were ECA. So we were ECA at the time. So ECA, step below paramedic, working together. Generally don't do much. Went home for break because we'd be fancy boys. Went to the Chippy for lunch.
Nice.
And then we got a job from home address.
Yeah. So
we're driving up stupidly steep hill in this very wide ambulance on this very narrow lane. Colour comes towards us. So I'm fine. I'll pull into this drive here, and this wasn't being done intentionally. He's just like, I need to pull in. That space looks like it.
I'm going there. Fuck
and
you.
has pulled in at such an angle.
It's been on the rear axle and on the front.
Truck is now effectively doing that on the.
Oh God!
So he's balanced.
The Mercs traction control start going fucking beep 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 beep.
No, it didn't. But he's like, I don't know how you've done it. You've balanced a truck on two wheels.
Fair fucks to you.
Fair play to him. So we had to wait for this car. I've done the friend thing and immediately got out and started,
laughing
and
taking pictures.
Absolutely. And we
no evidence exists for this.
No evidence exists. I don't think it does actually.
Good. This is all fiction, by the way.
And we then managed to reverse the truck back and carry on our way. But yeah, he's just
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's who I'm thinking of, my man.
It probably is, yeah.
Fucking hell. So, from episode 1 and onwards to this one, we've had a couple of story submissions, and we're going to wait till a specific episode to sort of read them out. However, we've had some questions from Twitter, TikTok, what was the other one?
Instagram?
YouTube and
That's it.
Instagram. So can you ask guests? So I've just like reeled them off, and I'm just gonna stick with one for you. What's the what's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's house?
Oh God, that's a great question.
Like the weirdest shit. I mean, like I know mine. Like so the question actually states, it says, you know, when you've been in the ambulance service and you've had to go into someone's house, what's the weirdest thing or object you've ever come across? I don't know if that could be classed as a person.
The only thing that springs to mind, and it's not necessarily weird, but it was just fucking creepy.
Right.
So night shift, middle of the night.
It's always the night.
It's always
and it's never like 11 or 12.
It's never 11
It's
a.m.
like
It's never
no. It's like
middle of the
it's
night,
4 in the morning, and you're like there like 4.
Middle of the night, poorly fucking lit house because it's dark. And we go to this patient. I think it was for a fractured neck of femur. Big house.
Yeah.
So being the responsible clinicians, we asked, like, we better check there's nobody else in the house, that like we're not just going to scoop this lady off the floor.
And there's
like,
someone else with another knob.
Well, like, there's someone else that like she's a carer for.
Yeah, okay.
Like
yeah, we're not
like,
just kidnapping someone.
No, like, we've obviously asked.
Like,
like
are you here on your own?
But as the old Russian proverb goes, trust but verify.
Our trust.
So I don't know why I've not just gone round and flicked all the fucking lights on.
Yeah.
I've gone to the belt of holding
and pulled out a fucking huge torch.
And no, small torch but very bright. So I'm walking around with this fucking torch, and I
gone are the days of the double D fucking dongers, night lights.
And I've gone into this room, and I've opened the fucking door, and it is floor to ceiling with like China face dolls.
Oh fuck no.
And I have never left a room so fucking quickly in all my life.
Did it look like all the eyes were moving? Like
honestly, it was the fucking creep. I was like, yeah, I'm not being. I'm walking on. No, fuck that shit.
Yep, I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm out. Yeah.
And like to the normies listening, like you're like, what's so bad about that? But like, you motherfuckers that work night shift, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Jesus.
No, same beard, different hair.
Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel.
Honestly, it was the creepiest thing.
Oh fuck that! No.
Ever.
Nah.
I just. And I think it's just because I wasn't expecting it.
Is it Annabelle? What's
like
the
Annabelle? Is it
Annabelle?
Something like that.
Or Saw? No, Saw's just the one guy, isn't it?
It's just the one murderer.
I'll have to Google it. Fuck this! I'm out. Like,
and because the rest of the house was so normal.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I just thought it would just be like another. I bet. Honestly.
That's a whole bag of no.
Ooh. Honestly, it was the worst. I was caught so off guard, just expecting a normal bedroom. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, nope, I'm out. I'm fucking out.
Fuck this shit out, mate.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the one.
That's the one weird.
Sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
Because that was just.
What did your crewmate say? Or did they just like, no, I'm not going in there. Fuck that.
Yeah. I said, are you? Like, you know, if I've had to suffer, so have you.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to go and check that room out. Why? No reason.
Yeah. Yeah. The smell of shit is emanating from your crewmate.
Open the door. Just,
It's just a little doll like following you around now for the rest of your life. Just like you just see it over your shoulder.
Just out the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like the one that sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
Because
that's pretty good one.
Damn,
son. Damn.
And I've been into a lot of houses and seen, I've been doing this 10 years now, 10, 12 years.
Yeah. There's been some weird ass
and
shit.
that is the one that just sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Probably because it was the creepiest fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that fulfills the question. I can't even remember who asked it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you see it now.
Hopefully that's what the sort of thing you were looking for.
What was it? What is the weirdest thing?
They were probably expecting, hoping it was going to be like some weird sex dungeon thing, but I've not knowingly been in a house with.
You shouldn't wish for things like that. You're gonna be on work next week and be
there are paramedics on station that have. When things have gone wrong. Never do anything you don't want to have to explain to a paramedic or a firefighter.
Or do it because we want the stories.
6 of one, half a dozen.
Yeah.
I'd listen to me more than I'd listen to him if I were you.
Why? It's always funny. So I guess that covers everything really. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you
chatting absolute shit. Hopefully, everyone out there has been sufficiently entertained for another episode.
Sorry, you've all had to listen to me again.
I know, but it's all good. Follow along, submit your stories, questions, anything like that on the Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. If you want to come on the show, message me and we'll get something sorted. John is going to be here sort of more often than not, really, being an executive button pusher and sort of just helping me out with it all, really, because it gets a bit much sometimes trying to do everything at once.
Seems reasonable.
You
won't see me, I'll just be in the background
heckling, yeah, professional heckler. But yeah, hopefully again you've enjoyed this episode. Get in touch, and hopefully it's not been as clunky as the first one. But yeah, so it goes. We're gonna go outside now because it's fucking boiling in here, and we've got more beers to drink.
Yeah,
so thanks for listening. This has been the Flying Medic, the Crewroom episode. Oh, I don't even fucking know now.
Episode yes.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers.
Take care.